what I was going to say is that as I'm practicing, I'll take you into the poses, and then I'm going to stay close to the camera. I won't necessarily stay in the pose. I'll be talking to you so that to guide you through the practice. Not with everything. I'll try to demonstrate and do the practice with you as much as possible, but I'll also try to be talking to you. So follow my voice, I think, is what I'm trying to say. So let's do 3 big breaths just to settle in. Taking a deep breath in through the nose and a deep breath out through the mouth. Taking a deep breath in through the nose and a deep breath out through the mouth. And one more time, breathing in through the nose. And as you breathe out through your mouth, arriving on your mat, in the space that you have chosen, in this place, and also arriving in your body. And begin the process of noticing what is today so different from yesterday. So noticing if your hips and knees and legs feel comfortable, and if they don't, move, even lie down. There's no rules here. We're just coming to stillness and awareness to begin. And then whether you're lying down or you're sitting up, notice the parts of your body that are connected to the earth, and really allow them to connect in. And then notice the parts of your body that are moving upwards towards the sky. If you're lying on your back, just feel the front body. If you're lying on your back, feel it open to the sky. If you're sitting, feeling that beautiful immenseness of the sky and the space around you. And then lining your head up so that your chin just slightly drops down towards your chest. Then from whatever position you're in, taking your hands and just place them into your ribs, onto the sides of your ribs. The next time you inhale, fill your hands with your ribs. See how wide you can breathe. And as you exhale, feel the spine lengthening. Hey Jackie. As you inhale, feeling the ribs expanding, widening. See if you can occupy the sides and back body. And exhale. Let's do 3 more breaths like this. Breathing in, widening the ribs. Noticing the intercostals. Can you access the back body? Can you access where the lungs, the rib cage expand into the back body? Exhale. And so my quote for today, and I'm going to read you more Dr. Seuss today, is I like nonsense. It wakes up the brain cells. Fantasy is a necessary ingredient in living. It's an easy way of looking, it's a way of looking at life through the wrong end of a telescope, which is what I do. And that enables you to laugh at life's realities. I have a little rain, so that quote is quite appropriate right now. So the first little piece we're going to do today, and as I said earlier, in case you missed it, if you're a bendy person, which I know quite a few of you are, I know those bodies that are showing up here today, get yourself a good stack of firm pillows. And if you need to go and get some now, go ahead. We are going to start, I'm turning around so you can see me. We'll start with our knees on our prop and just bring the arms out to the side. And we'll just take about 5 full breaths here. After this breath, bringing your hands together, stretching your arms out above your head, stretch the legs out, and give your ankles and wrists 5 circles one way rotation and 5 circles the other way. And then bringing your hands down to your sides, bend your knees, and then push your feet down onto the mat, roll your spine up, and then bring the bolster or the pillows. Try to have, if you are quite bendy, try to have at least this much compressed pillow underneath you, nice little bit of height, or even maybe more. And from here, just drop the knees side to side. Radius, this is one of my cats called Radius. And then extending your legs, stretch the body out. Feel how that feels for you today. And we're going to come into a version of half moon using our props underneath our pelvis. So right now I can feel when I stretch my legs out, I don't want to be in the arch of my back. I want to be just on my sacrum so that my pelvis is ever so slightly tipped. And then from here, bend your left knee and roll yourself all the way onto your right side. So you'll be looking like this. You'll be looking like a pencil, a very bendy pencil, or a crescent moon here. I'm going to sit up. You're going to stay right here. And I'll be timing you for, we'll be doing about 2-minute poses here today. So just settling into this shape. Hey, Emmy. Please feel free, if you can't hear me or if you need to ask a question, type it in. I might not see it right away, but I can have a good look at for you. Oh, my clock's just ticked out. So breathing into the side stretch. If you don't feel anything in this pose right now, that means you'd need to add some height underneath you. You would like to feel something through the side body, maybe through the hip into the IT, maybe in the rib cage, maybe even through the shoulders. And if you're taking it gently today, wonderful. Don't worry about not feeling the deep stretch, just let your body take it easy. We're going to take 3 more full breaths here. And once again, coming back to that sensation in the ribs, the feeling of breathing widely as you inhale, also into the back body. You'll be feeling this mostly through your left side right now. Exhaling, inhaling deeply, exhaling. Now this time, as you inhale, bring your top leg, your left leg forward, your right leg back, so you have a pair of scissors. Your legs are like a pair of scissors. My left leg is forward, and then from here, revolve your left shoulder all the way if you can. You can slide your right arm down and coming into a beautiful twist here. I'm letting my right knee bend because that feels a little deeper in the twist for me. And settling in. In Yin, we find sensation. And for some of you, you may not feel a lot of sensation here. This is easy for you. Simply enjoy it. Then we find stillness, and we stay for time. If you would like a little bit more through the shoulders, you could bend the left elbow and slide that elbow up a little bit. Roll your head to the left or right, and settle in. Allow your brain to soften and sink back into your skull. Let's take 3 more full deep breaths together. And then slowly rolling yourself back onto your right side and all the way onto your belly to come into neutral to rest. So I have the props underneath my pelvis, and I found just a nice comfy place. It's running underneath my hip bones actually, and I'm just going to lie down, and this is quite nice and relaxing for the lower back. While you're on your belly, breathing into and expanding into the back body again, really see if you can back body breathe. Our lungs are 3-dimensional. They expand in all directions, and we have actually more muscles in our back bodies than in the front for breathing. Sandra San Martino calls it our breathing apparatus. So our true muscles of respiration, she calls them. So really breathe into the intercostals in the back. Let's just take 2 more breaths here. From here, lengthening the arms forward again, this time rolling onto your left side. So I've got the props underneath my hip bone. You can figure this out for yourself. Try to get your hips as your highest point. Extend your arms over your head. And we'll stay in this place here for about a minute, just settling in. Taking 2 more breaths here. And then bringing your right leg forward, your left leg back, sliding your left arm in front of you, and opening up your chest to come into a twist here. Everything's getting soaking wet. If you would like a little bit more through your shoulders, bend the right elbow, roll the head to the right. You can also bring your left leg further back to create more sensation. And once you've come to the place where you find a little bit of a stretch, a little bit of a dull, deep stretch, simply let go. The process of yin is to let go of the muscles, let go of activating the muscles, and you are coming into your fascial system, your extracellular matrix. By turning off the muscles, we are coming into those connections where we are closer to the joints of the body. Those tiny, there's like near the spine, there's little multifidi, there's little ligaments and tendons that connect around our knees and our hips and our shoulders. And so we're coming into those deeper areas where it's a different kind of stretch to when we're using our muscles and activating them. And the reason we do this is we are looking for a whole body balance. Our extracellular matrix tries to hold all our cells together, but also the whole body into a tensegrity body, so that the whole system, if you think of yourself in a hammock, a beautiful crocheted hammock or woven hammock, you want the whole hammock to feel perfectly balanced, so that all the muscles in the body and work as a fluid working system, not just one part of the body really strong and the other part a little bit weak. We want to feel the whole system working harmoniously as one unit, as you want all your systems to work. Let's take 3 full breaths here together. From here, bring yourself back onto your side again and all the way onto your belly or your back. So choosing to lie on your belly again, or you could choose to lie on your back. Yogi's choice. Whichever one feels better for you right now. Take one more breath. And then if you are on your back, bringing your feet, bending your knees, lifting your pelvis up and removing the bolster. If you're on your belly, come to your knees. We're going to all meet on our knees, coming around. It doesn't look like I thought the rain was going to stop, but I don't think it's going to stop for a while. It won't be my first yoga class teaching in the rain, so I won't melt. We're going to get into this part of our practice where we are going to work with our feet a bit. I suggest that you have some pillows or a block in front of you. And the first yin practice we do is to tuck our toes under, and then we bring our knees onto a block or a prop. Before you go there, just bring your hands down, tuck your toes under, and make sure that all 10 toes are facing forward, that your feet are lined up, and then coming forward onto a couple of pillows or a block, and then sit back onto your feet. My clock is affected by the rain too. Keeps turning off. Now try to find breath. So I'd just like to say that if you go too deep, you'll feel this more in your little toes, in the lines of the toes, and I did rip my toes a bit when I first started doing this practice. So rather back it off a bit and get into the whole foot. Maybe feel the pressure more in the ball of the foot. It comes into your arches. You can feel you stretching the fascia of the feet. If there's pain, add more props, or simply come out, wiggle your feet, and come in again. Let's take a big breath in. Flex your hands up and out, fingers towards your ears, and as you exhale, curl your fingers under. Breathing in, push the heels of your hands away. Exhale, curl your fingers under. 2 more times, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. And then release your hands, bring your hands forward, release your feet, give them a little shake. And then this time we're going to sit on our feet, and we are going to lift our knees up. So you can put your knees on a block, as we did earlier. And this time, the lower the block, the easier it is. The higher the block, the more intense it is. You could also play with using using your abs to achieve this. So you can lean back and then use your abs to draw your knees towards you, and this will stretch out your ankles. So 10 breaths together here. Try to bring your knees a little closer to you. Roll the shoulders back, slide the shoulder blades down the back. 3 more breaths. And release, shake them out. From here, we're going to come onto our feet into a square dog, and then we're going to come into some back bends. All you'll need for this is maybe a bolster or a couple of pillows. So bring your hands nice and wide on your mat, take your feet nice and wide, and come up into a square dog. Just stretch out the spine, stretch out the hips, let your ears drop down. From here, coming forward, bringing your knees down and sliding yourself all the way onto your belly. If you want to, you can lower down through a plank, lower the body down, slide the hands down in front of you. And to begin, simply put your forehead on your hands. Turn off all the muscles of the body, take 3 breaths, and just notice how your lower back area feels. If you're feeling that you'd like to come in a little deeper, slide your elbows underneath you to come into Sphinx pose. So the idea is that we let our pubic bone and our hips drop towards the mat. Your feet can be close together, or they can be as wide as your mat apart. Try to notice, just take a little look. Let's do a little head roll here, and you're going to look at your feet. Just notice if they're turning in or turning out. In Yin, we don't really worry about that. But if you're working with trying to strengthen or lengthen one line of your leg, maybe the inside line of your leg, if your feet naturally turn in, you might want to lengthen the toes away. You can shift and move your alignment at this point. So just letting your left ear drop to your left shoulder, roll your head around, chin to the chest, and look towards your back foot. Just notice what the alignment is, see if you want to change it. And then take the right ear to the right shoulder, roll the chin down, and roll to look towards the left leg. Notice the alignment and see if you want to change it. And then simply roll your head right and left 3 more times. And coming back to center. And then if you find that you would like to go deeper, I like to walk my thighs a little bit further away from me and then bend at the knees. For those of you that find your neck is a little tired today, you could bend your elbows and cup your chin with your hands or your forehead. And for those of you that are here and you'd still like a little bit more intensity in the lower back, take 3 breaths before you decide. In Yin, the stillness and staying for time changes the pose. Sometimes you get into a pose and it feels really easy, and then after 1 or 2 minutes it changes. So don't ever be in a rush to get there too quickly or quickly at all. Enjoy unraveling the body. But for those of you that would like a little bit more right now, bring your feet down and bring some props underneath you to take you into a deeper version of this. Once again, you could bend the legs if you want to, especially if your back is feeling a little tricky. Just don't go in deep. Don't even decide whether you prefer to have your legs down or up, and come into a quiet place to enjoy the sensations. Another little trick is that if your body is tired, you can snuggle your pillows or your bolster right next to your body. Pardon me. And that keeps your upper body up nice and easily. And just settling. So once again, coming back to the principles of Yin, we come into a pose, we come into our first edge. And in those first 3 breaths, our job is to let go of holding and engaging our muscles. Allow your awareness to move through you on the inside, like walking through a house and turning off the lights. Just notice, like here, I can feel my neck's engaging a little bit, so I'm going to support my neck, relax my shoulders, let my pubic bone and my hip bones drop a little deeper into the earth. Breathe into my back body. Let's take 3 more deep breaths here. If your knees are bent, bring your feet down. If you have a bolster underneath you or under your elbows, just slowly bring yourself down. Drop it to one side, lower the body down, slide your right knee up on your mat, turn your head to the right, bring your left arm down, and let your left cheek come to the mat and release down onto the mat this way. Take one more full deep breath here. And then straightening out the right leg. Bring the left arm underneath you. And we'll come into seal pose now, which is a little deeper version of the back bend. Bring your hands underneath you. And turn your fingers out to the side, like the flippers of a seal. And then straighten out the elbows. Once again, drop the pelvis into the floor, into the earth. I like this one because it kind of gives your neck a bit of a squeeze. My shoulders squeeze my neck and give those areas that sometimes get tight, give them a nice squeezing sensation. The wider your hands are apart, or the further your hands are in front of you, the softer the pose. And conversely, bringing your hands closer in makes it a little bit more challenging. Once again, you can bend your knees here, be like a seal in the sun, and you could drop your head back. But do try to leave the pelvis down on the floor for this one. So in Yin, there are 3 reasons to move. The first being pain. If you're experiencing sharp shooting pain, tingling, numbness, or just anything that feels uncomfortable, slowly move yourself out of the pose. The second reason to move is if you notice your breath becoming quite sharp. You're sort of breathing in a way where you're not in control of your breath, where you're not able to access your beautiful back body, deep, full breaths. That would be another reason to move. You've gone a little bit too deep. And the third reason to move is if you feel your body would like to go deeper. You're just following a sensation of unfolding. I often feel in some of the poses, as I come to stillness, it feels like I'm melting lint bunny, like one of those chocolate bunnies, and you're just slowly melting with each breath deeper into a pose. And that deepness is a letting go, an unwinding, an unraveling. It's a letting go of the muscles, allowing them to turn off. And it's a free fall into that extracellular matrix, that connective tissue matrix. So some of you now may even be feeling this in your belly. We get a lovely stretch here from the pubic bone up to the ribs, or from the hip bones up to the ribs. See if you can come back into that back body breathing, the widening of the rib cage. And let's take 3 more full deep breaths here. To come out of this pose, if your knees are bent, slowly lower your feet to the floor. Slowly bring the chin towards the chest. And then take a little inhale, lift the belly and squeeze the glutes, bend the elbows, and slowly bring yourself down, really slowly. Slide the left knee up, bring the right arm down, and slide your left arm up, turn your right cheek to the mat, and release down. Take one more full breath here. Slide the left leg straight again. Roll towards the center. Bend your knees one more time. And then just drop your feet side to side. We call this the rear windshield wipers. From here, take your toes, flex your toes under, just like we did a little bit earlier. We're going to do a big wolf howl here. So if you've got a dog or a cat around, maybe they'll join in. We're going to bend our knees a little bit. We'll take a big full breath in, and then we'll bring ourselves up and onto our toes and have a big wolf howl. So let's get ready. Big breath in. Bring your chin to your chest, knees down. I hope that felt good for you. For a moment, wag your tail. Just let your sitting bones sway side to side. Maybe look towards your left as you swing your hips left. Look towards your right as you swing right. And drop your head in between. So just let your neck and your hips and your spine release. A bit like when you see cows flicking their tails and looking sideways. Come back through center, tuck your toes under, one more square dog. You can bend your knees, you can stretch out, wiggle, or come to stillness, whatever you prefer. Give yourself 5 breaths. From here we're going to come into dragons. So if you have some blocks around, that would help because they're going to take you deeper into the pose if you need. If you don't have any blocks around, just bring some pillows underneath here to support you. And from here we're going to take our right foot forward, or you can come from your knees and bring your right foot forward into a nice deep lunge. You can have your hands on your mat here, or you can bring your blocks down underneath you. And we're going to rock forward and back. And all I'm doing is I'm feeling where my hips feel best here. I'm trying to find my deepest lunge here. And today let's do an overstepping dragon. So that means our knee is going to come not at a perpendicular 90-degree angle. So normally we aim for this 90-degree. Today we're going for an overstepping dragon. So it's going to look like that from the front, from the side. I'm facing you, so you might not be able to see that. So baby dragon, classically our hands are on the floor here, and let's come into that for 5 breaths. So if you can frame your front foot with your hands, let your head drop down. The one thing that does sometimes happen is that your hip bone gets into your thigh here. Feel free to move your leg around, your thigh around, until you find a comfortable place. 4 more full breaths. Let your head drop right down. Now from here, roll the head up, and if you can, begin to bring your hands up higher next to you if you have blocks, and then send your hips a little more forward again and begin to lengthen from your back toes, your left big toe right up. Send the pelvis forward. We're looking for a beautiful arc through the body, from the toe right through to the crown of the head. Send the chest forward and start to drop your head back. We're looking for sensation. Maybe you're feeling it from your inside of your right knee down to your right sitting bone. You might be feeling it from your left knee to your left hip bone. And if at any time this feels too much, remember, if your breathing becomes too sharp or if you're feeling uncomfortable sensation, just back out. Now from here, let's see if we can come right up. So if you've got blocks, you could stack your blocks a little higher, or bring your hands onto your front thigh. And let's see if we can take our left hand onto our right knee, take the right arm up and open up. Take 3 full breaths. Open up the body. You can use your left hand, push down as you extend back. 3 more breaths. Bring everything back. Place the right hand on the right knee. Swing the left arm forward and up. Push down through the right knee with the right hand. Open up the body. Whoops. Great for live video. One more breath. Exhale, come down. This time, Asagwa, take both arms up. Reach up and reach back. Keep reaching back, as if you're going to catch something. One more full breath. Exhale, coming forward. This time, push down through the front foot. Straighten the front leg. Rock back. Bring your toes up, your right toes up. So you can have your hands on the floor or on your blocks. And slowly bring the body forward over the front leg. So this is an active stretch. I'm bringing my toes towards me as hard as I can. We're activating the muscles here. So some of you might be higher up, some of you might get all the way down. Find where you feel some sort of sensation, some sort of stretch. You might even want to stretch your arms out. Give yourself another 5 breaths here. And then coming forward, bend the front knee again. This time we're going to bring our right hand on the inside of our leg, walk the right leg out a little bit, and we're going to slowly make our way down into a low flying dragon. So you could have your elbows like I have on blocks. There's also something else you could do, especially if you're very bendy and you want to work with strength rather than more flexibility. Tuck your back toes under and lift up the back leg. I'll see if you can see me here now. I'm going to just turn around for a moment. So if I'm coming down onto my elbows, I can push back here in this way. Or I can just let the knee drop down and relax my leg. For those of you that are super flexible, you could wrap your right arm around the right leg. Come in deeper. From here, I'm just going to turn around so you can hear me. From here, bringing yourself back onto your left, up onto your hands. Tuck your back toe under, your left toe under, and lift the right arm up to the sky and come into lengthen up. So I've got my right arm up, my left hand is down, and then open up into a bit of a twist. A bit like we did on the bolster earlier. Oh, that feels so good. 3 more breaths. When you come down, release the front foot, hinge back one more time, and this time we are going to take our let's just go straight into it. See if you can bring a block underneath you. Slide the right foot back with you. I have my left knee bent. My right foot is on the floor. My right knee is here. Bring your hands behind you. I'm bringing my fingertips facing me. Now this is super important here. Have a look at your hip bones. Make sure that they're lined up. Push yourself, slide your shoulder blades down your back So your chest is you're opening up through the chest line here. Now push down through your top of your left foot, and we're going to take our tailbone and scoop it forward and up. So think of tilting the pelvis, have a look at your hip bones, try to keep both hip bones at the same level. So don't let the right hip bone come up, just keep them both level and keep tilting the pubic bone towards you. You're hopefully feeling something through the left quad. And if you're not feeling much, keep engaging the glutes and keep sending the left hip forward, particularly. Let's take 3 more breaths. To come out of there, simply release. Come down, release the hands, and let's come forward and step back into our down dog again. Our square dog. If you would prefer, if your hands especially, your wrists are feeling a little tired, sit down into child's pose and just let your wrists relax. Yeah? Take one more full deep breath, and then if you're pardon me, if you're in down dog, stepping your left leg forward. If you've come from child's pose, stepping the left leg forward from here. And we began with baby dragon. Have your blocks or some props ready, and just gliding forward and back 3 times. So this is when you gauge if you need your knee to go further back, and we came into an overstepping dragon. So from the side, your knee is going to be over your foot. It puts a little bit more pressure in the ankles. It stretches out the calf muscles a bit. And once you found that, if you notice that your hip bone is digging into your thigh, move your leg or move the muscle around until you've found a happy place there. Make sure you have some sensation dropping the right hip forward. You could be on your knuckles if your wrists are tired, especially if you haven't been doing a lot of yoga this last few weeks. Drop your head down, relax the head. Breathe into the back body. Find stillness in baby dragon. Take one more breath here, and then if you have some pillows or props, begin to bring yourself slowly a little bit more vertical. As I bring myself up, I'm still allowing that deep sensation to happen in the right hip flexor. I'm opening up my hip flexors. It's good counter posing for sitting. Now here, slide the shoulder blades down the back. If you haven't got blocks to bring you up, no problem. Just start to come up, and we began on the other side. We're going to bring, as we did on the other side, this time bring your right hand across first, You take the left arm up. Keep gliding the left hip forward. And reach back. 3 full breaths. Push down with the right hand to help your hips come forward. Coming back. If your neck doesn't like this, feel free to leave this out. Also, if you need to tuck your toes under, feel free to do that too. Any variation that works for you. Main area we're targeting is we're trying to open up this part of the body here. Let's sweep the right arm forward. I have my left hand on my left knee. Hopefully I don't fall over this time. Reaching up, 3 breaths here. Coming forward, this time sweeping the arms up and back, open. As you go up, keep going up, but feel like you're springing back to catch something. Last breath, coming forward, bringing your hands down, sending your hips back here, and then flexing through the front foot, bringing and activating the toes, bringing both hips all the way back. So you might find you get a better stretch being higher up. See if you can really use your alignment here. Get your toes so that they don't turn one way or the other. Try to hinge the body right over. We took a nice long little stretch here, active stretch. So you're yanging this out. This is your Yangster Yin. Flex the foot towards you and let the body lengthen over. You might look very different to me. Just find your sensation here. One more breath and then coming forward. This time walking your left foot out to the side, hinging forward again, and bringing our elbows down for low flying dragon, either onto a pillow or some blocks or all the way onto the floor. And this time now our shin is at 90 degrees. And those of you that have found this really easy, you can wrap your left arm around underneath behind your ankle and come down nice and deep here. And as we did on the other side, for some of you, you might want to tuck your toe under, lift up the knee. Taking another 2 full deep breaths here. And then engage the abs, lift up, put your right hand down on the mat or your right knuckles if your wrists are sore, and take your left arm up to the sky. Tuck, if you didn't have your toes tucked under already, tuck your right toes under. So you're elevating everything up a little bit. Lifting the belly up to activate it. Take the left arm up to the sky and now push down through the hands to open up and revolve. Oh, this feels so good. 3 more breaths. Exhale, inhale, come around. Drop the right knee down. Bring a pillow or a block underneath your sitting bones to sit back. Slide back to sit on something. A block is ideal because it's firmer here. I don't think I mentioned last time, you would like, pardon me, your left foot more or less in line with your knee. From here, come to sitting. Slide your shoulder blades back. Put your hands down behind you. You can be on your knuckles or your hands. Slide the shoulder blades down the back body. Now push down. Make sure that your toes are nicely lined up here, that your shin is the line, a nice straight line on the mat. Push down. Now send the pubic bone towards your face. Push down in the right knee. Keep the right knee on the mat. So you're pushing down through your shin. You're pushing down through the whole front line of the right leg. You're trying to get this whole line nice and flat down, and you are engaging your quads, your glutes rather, and your quads stretching up so that you are sending both hip bones in alignment up towards the sky, and you're trying to feel actively, you're trying to feel a stretch to the right quad. You want to drop the head back. Another 3 full breaths here. Keep and see if you can squeeze your glutes here a little harder. And slowly lowering down. And releasing the wrists and releasing the feet. Great. Hi, Robin. So from here we're going to release our shoulders a little bit. Unfortunately, I do not know what the time is. So it sounds bizarre. I'm going to just quickly look at what the time is on the phone. I hope I don't lose you guys. Maybe if somebody doesn't mind, do you mind typing the time in for me in a comment box or something? And we're going to come into a little bit of a chest opener here before we come down into a nice twist to end off here. So we're going to have our knees down. We're going to come into puppy dog pose, and we're going to send our chest to the floor. So bring the elbows down, and from here slowly gliding the chest down towards the floor. You could have your forehead on the mat or your chin on the mat. You can have your arms bent, or you can have your arms straight, and you may need a pillow or a folded blanket. Sometimes I need just a little bit to help, to rest my chest onto. It just helps me. What we are aiming for is to feel an opening between the shoulder blades or the upper body. So our knees are down and our hips are 90 degrees to our hips here, and we're aiming to come into something that looks a bit like that, called puppy dog pose. Thanks, Amy. 108. Thank you. We'll have to start ending off right away. Thank you very much. Thanks, Nancy. Nancy, thank you. Take 3 more breaths in this beautiful heart opening pose. On the days when you get in there easily, it is such a beautiful pose. On the days that you struggle with it, Still a great pose, just a little more challenging. To come out of puppy dog or heart opener, perhaps you'd just like to slide yourself forward onto your belly. Let's bend our knees one more time and do those rear windshield wipers. Thank you so much for joining me here today. We'll just do a little gentle twist here and come into Shavasana. Let's do a little arm opener twist here, so a reverse twist. I'm facing you. I'll be doing the same thing that you're doing. If you know that you're quite flexible through your arm, shoulder, we can do a variation of arm options here. If you have rotator cuff or any sore shoulder kind of issues going on, just don't go into this at all. Maybe just enjoy turning your head to the side. Otherwise, listen to my voice here. Take the left arm out to the side. Bend your right elbow. Bring your right hand down onto your knuckles or your hand. Turn your left cheek to the mat. Bend your right leg, your right knee. Roll over, taking the right foot across over to, maybe it comes all the way to touch the floor behind you. If you don't feel much of a stretch through the shoulder or anything, and if you've got your boobs on the way here, just slide them out, bring them forward. Come back to center and take your arm to a more of an angle up. That'll bring you into a stretch through here. But be very careful. Just be very gentle. Some days you just want to bend the knee a little bit. Some days you'll be able to come into a bit of a roll. Let's take 3 full breaths here. And release. Bend the left elbow, straighten the right arm. Both legs straight, turn the right cheek to the mat. Push with the left hand, take your left foot over. If you feel you'd like a bit more sensation, bend through the right arm, bring it up a little high, move your chest out around, and then drop in. Three more breaths. Come out very slowly. And then making your way into Shavasana. What's quite nice, seeing as though we had so many props today, slip something underneath your knees and maybe come back to the pose we began in, which was our knees apart, feet together, or you may want to simply lie still with your legs straight. I sometimes like to put blocks underneath my feet. And the other little thing you could do is cup the back of your head, lengthen your neck out, and release down. I'm going to read you a short poem as you drop into Shavasana, and I'll ring the bell in about 2 minutes. We'll have a short Shavasana. Those of you that would like to be here a little longer, please feel free to stay longer. Again, thank you so much for joining me here today. The most important thing right now is allowing the body to fall joyfully and with abandon, backwards or forwards or sideways into the earth. Bring the body into full rest, knowing that you've twisted and squeezed all your connective tissue. And it's now the chance for that connective tissue to absorb all the hydration from the surrounding cells. Another quote by Dr. Seuss. Life is too short to wake up in the morning with regret. So love the people who treat you right, forgive the ones who don't, and believe that everything happens for a reason. If you get a chance, take it. If it changes your life, let it. Nobody said it'd be easy. They just promised it would be worth it. Saying hello to your inhalation and saying hello to your exhalation. Breathing in, I'm like a beautiful flower. Breathing out, I feel fresh. If you would like to remain lying down a little longer, please feel free. If you would like to come up to sitting, giving yourself a big stretch and a yawn. Oh, and if you don't yawn successfully the first time, try again. And even if you're going to stay lying down, just give your body a hug. Tell your body how fabulous it is and thank you for being your body. Thank you, body, for being my body. One body for life. And then if you are coming up to sitting now, if you have things to do with your day, just rolling over onto one side and gently bring yourself up to sitting. And if you're lying down, we're going to do one arm to finish our practice. Thank you again so much for joining me this wild and rainy class today. Have a beautiful day. And we'll do a deep inhale, deep exhale, and we'll do one arm to finish. Big breath in, big breath out, and breathing in for arm. May all beings be happy. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. And may the words and the thoughts and the actions of our own lives contribute to that freedom, that happiness, and that peacefulness for all beings. Namaste. Leave me comments, feedback if you feel like it, and thank you again for joining me. So lovely to see you all.